alternatives are there. I'm not saying it's not there. But why to always look for alternatives? I mean, we can be a bit cautious, right? Chalo, lots of philosophical thing. I'll move on. Yesterday, if function we had seen. What is this if function all about?
It's about a condition given for a range of cells where we give a condition and we get the result according to it, whatever we give.
Condition you are giving, all good, but based on the condition, what you are going to do? Yes, Subeda? Based on the
Yes, ma'am.
condition, what are you going to do, ma?
We can just view, ma'am, if we want to see if we have to see the salary, like if it's the salary is above, or the amount, total amount is the what to say, the cash received, like it's above 10,000 or something like that. If we have to view like that, we can give in a if condition, and we can view the particular result, or we can see if how many what
Okay, ma. You are just going like a loop and loop. Okay, that's okay. Now, if function is going to test a certain condition, okay, we are going to evaluate a certain condition, and based on whether it's a true or false, we are going to display a certain value. If the condition is going to be true, we are going to display a value. If it's going to be false, we are going to display another value. So in short, there are three arguments within a if function. And within a single if, you can use or you can test only one condition at a time. That's the constraint, but that's not a big constraint. We can deal with it. How we are going to deal with it, I told you, tomorrow I'll show you. Today I'm going to talk about that. Okay. Here you have like two alternatives are there. This was yesterday we were testing, you are using the if function to really check whether the revenue is greater than 15 or not. If it had been 15, greater than 15, I'll say it's good revenue, or else it will say like either you put it as bad or just leave it empty. It's all up to us. We can we can play with it in short. Now, condition is something we are going to put like as per requirement, the condition is going to be. But what about good and bad? These values are something like we are, it's completely our own customized. Here I'm saying customized, but at your job place, the way the requirement or the instructions are given to you, you are going to follow that. Okay. If they say some other instead of good and bad, they have say some other high and low. If they have some other values, then use them. Okay. So if function is going to test or evaluate only one condition at a time. But not every other time I would have to, I mean, I'm going to test only one condition. My in real time, definitely we are going to evaluate more than one condition. So if I want to do that, I have to use two ways. The first one is your logical functions. Logical functions and or. There are two logical functions and or. Okay, with the usage of that, I can evaluate more than one condition at the same time. But then I have to just use that logical functions along with if. The combination has to be there, then it will work out very fine. Now, before we actually go on to that example as to what we are trying to evaluate, understand one thing. Okay, over here, two logical functions I told you, na? And is something like, okay, even before I really go here and talk about it, and says, say I'm trying to evaluate two conditions. Both the conditions have to be satisfied at the same time. That's what that and means. and will return true only when all the conditions, all the mentioned conditions are going to be true. Or is just the ulta. Okay, this or this, like either one or two. But for and is one and two. Okay. Now over here to the how the, since it's for logical functions, it is going to give us the result in either true or false. Okay, that's what the boolean, basically boolean is going to return me. Now if I come here, let me not confuse you all. Okay. Now say we have got two conditions. Okay, test one, test two. Only if both are true, only if both the conditions are satisfied, the result for and is going to be true. Even if one of the conditions is false. Okay, like you have either first one is true, second one is false, or maybe first one is false or second one is true. Like even if one is false, my and result is going to be false. Obviously the last is going to be very much obvious. Both are false, answer is false. So and is going to return me true only when all the conditions are true. Even if one condition is evaluating to false, the result is going to be false. Okay, what about or? Or or is something like a coolest guy. Okay. Or yes, if both the conditions are true, definitely or is going to give me the answer as true. Even if one is true, it will return me true. Both are false, false. If you really want to understand the difference between the two, it's in this middle one only. In case of and, like why I'm saying middle one is, in the middle one, two lines, one condition is true, another condition is false. When we are using and this kind of combination is coming up, and will always return me false. Because for the simplest reason, and will always return true only if all the conditions are satisfied. Again mentioning only if all of them are true, all of the conditions are satisfied and will return true. Otherwise not. Here one, even if one is false, gone. But true, that's not the problem. True, for or, that's not the problem. Or is fine even if one is true. Like even if one condition is true, or will return true. The same, just think over the name or itself, either one or two. So either one or two, like either one is true or either second one is true. Doesn't matter. Or will return true. The first one and the fourth one are is the same for both of them. But the main difference comes in this only. Okay. If you want, you can memorize. Need not. To be very frank, need not. You will understand. Basically, when we start doing our examples, when we start exploring our examples, you're going to understand it much more well. Okay. Now here, if you look onto the range of the revenue values that are being given, there are actually three ranges. Wait, will you come? Okay. One range is, or first range is less than 15,000. Second range is 15,000 to 20,000. Third range is greater than 20,000. Okay, three ranges. Now, a certain value, just for, understand and give me the answer. I pick up any value for that matter. I just pick up any value. Can the value be available in all the three ranges? Or maybe like say, suppose I pick up a value 10,000. It will be only in this range. Can it be in these ranges?
No, ma'am.
No, na? Okay. Now, if, or I mean, let me put it in this way. If this, I mean, three ranges are there, means I'm going to evaluate the values, the revenue values given to me. I'm going to find out as to, like, I'm going to be talking, I mean, collectively for all the upcoming examples, I'm talking in general. Then we'll go to more specific, what is it that we are trying to evaluate there. Now, I can use or. My or logic was either 1 or 2, right? So if I pick up a value, it will be either in, okay, I'll come to it. As in to say, um, okay, if I have to evaluate a certain value, like if it is going to be either in this range 1 or range 2, if my condition is something like that, I have to evaluate whether it's less than 15 or greater than 20. I can use or. Obvious reason, if I say choose, like say suppose 25,000 is my value that I'm evaluating. It's going to be falling under this range. It won't be under this range, right? For some time, forget this range. Okay, for some time, forget this. You have just got two ranges. You might tell me it's not continuous, never mind. But if a requirement says, if a requirement really asks me to find out whether a certain value is less than 15 or greater than 20, I can use or, because any one value is only going to be true. Of course, there is a one more option where if that value is by chance, if it says, say suppose my value is 18,000, it will be in this range. So if I have to talk about this range, 18,000 means it is greater than 15 as well as it's less than 20. 18,000 is greater than 15. At the same time, it's less than 20. So the apt example or the apt option is for my and. For and, both of them have to be true. Both the conditions are going to have to be true. Only then the result will be true. You are able to understand this? Or shall I directly go on to the examples to show you that? Okay, I'll go to the examples. Don't worry. We'll come there. We'll come there. Now see, the example that we're trying to evaluate here is revenue greater than 15 and less than 20. Then good. Basically, we are evaluating whether my value is in this range. If it is in this range means it's like a between option, right? Your lower bound is 15 and upper bound is 20. If I have to evaluate whether the revenue value is falling under this range, means I have to use a and option only. Because and only tells me if both are true, it's going to be true. Like 17,000 and odd. It is greater than 15, less than 20. Yes? Two conditions. If I go down, see here, the function that I've written here. Outer is if. I've started with if. I know with a single if I can test only one. That's okay. But in that first argument, I have substituted an and function. What is this and doing? I have told greater than 15, less than 20. Like it's in this range. It's an in-between range. So two conditions. B5 greater than 15. B5 is this value. It's greater than 15. Second condition is B5 less than 20. If the and, like, let's evaluate these two conditions over here. B5 is 11,000 and odd. Is it greater than 15? No. Is it less than 20? Yes. It's not falling under this range. One condition is not satisfied. Second condition is satisfied. So first condition, result is false. Second is true. Even if one condition is false for the AND function, it will return me false. We have seen here. Third one, see, first one is false, second one is true. First one is false, second one is true. So answer is false. And function's result is false means my if function logical test has evaluated to false. If it is evaluating to false, I know it will jump to the third argument, which is over here as leave it blank. Is it getting clear? You're getting confused? What is it? Okay, let's see. Let's go. Sorry. Let's go into 2 to 3 examples. Maybe it will be more clear. Or let me put it as bad so that you are able to understand things. Okay, second one over here. B6 greater than 15. No. First condition is false. Second condition, B6 less than 20. Yes, it is. 7,000 is less than 20. So false, true. Answer for AND or the result for AND is going to be false. I can just come over here. I'll come over here to tell me false. You can even look onto the FX. First one, it's false. 7,000, it's not greater than 15. But the second one, it says less than 20, that is true. So false and true combinations for a combination for a AND is always false. See here, checks whether all the arguments are true and returns true if all arguments are true. It doesn't matter. Maybe I might test 10 conditions at the same time and will return true only when all those 10 conditions are true at the same time. Even if one is failing, it is going to return me false. So AND result is nothing but my if function's logical test. That is my if function's first argument. In the first argument of my if function, I've introduced AND, which allows me to test more than one condition. So here one is false, one is true. So answer is false. It will directly go to bad only. That's what is displaying. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's see one break. We have to, but only we have seen two bad. Let's see one good. 15,033. Is it greater than 15,000? Yes.
Yes, greater than 15,000.
As well as, is it, as well as like at the same time, it's less than 20.
20,000.
Both are true. 15,033. It is greater than 15. Yes. It is great. It is less than 20. Yes. Both are true. Answer is true. So AND function result is true. AND function result is true means my if function is on the outer side. So if function, the logical test is true. If the logical test is true, it will come to the second argument of if, which is value if true. And it will display good. It's the basic normal if function only you're using. Just that I am trying to evaluate more than one condition at the same time. I can do that if only if, like, I won't say only if, I can do that if I use a logical function like AND or in combination with if. So in the place or in the first argument of my if, we test a certain condition, a logical condition. That place, in that argument only, that argument we are substituting with another function, another logical function. No other thing I am doing. Is it okay? You want me to go ahead with one more example or all okay? What is the case? Maybe you want to see the last two. One is 30,000, one is 20,000. You want to see that? Okay. B14, it's 20,400. Is it greater than 15?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it less than 20?
No, ma'am.
So true and false combination for AND, result is going to be false. So AND result is false means my if function's logical test is evaluating to false. So if the logical test of if is false means it will directly jump to the value false, which is bad. You're able to follow?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Anyone, any questions? Okay. We have seen AND. Let's explore OR. In between is there, you have, it's actually a nested if and nested if both are there. So first let's explore OR, then I'll come to the previous one. Okay, here we are trying to evaluate whether the revenue is greater than or equal to 20,000 or it's less than equal to 15,000. If that's the case, we say it as like flag, we display flag, or else I can say otherwise no flag. I can put it as no flag also. Now, what is it that I am trying to evaluate? Understand that first. We are evaluating our revenue value, whether it's falling in this range, these two ranges. This is done. For this one only we used AND because any value which is falling under this range, I have to evaluate using AND because that value will be greater than 15. At the same time, it will be less than 20. But there be certain values which are either 15,000 less than 15 or they can be greater than 20. Like when these cannot merge. These are two different boundaries or two different ranges. So if I have to evaluate such options, obviously my OR function is the best one because it, even if one is true for or if one condition for if even if one condition is true, or is going to give me the result as true. So let's see that. Okay, here we are saying, okay, B5 is greater than 20, B5 less than equal to 15. 1 minute. Is it greater than 20? No. B5 is not greater than equal to 20. But B5 is definitely less than 15. Network error did happen. Did we lose out on the connection? No, na?
No, ma'am.
I heard a voice, that's why I'm asking. Okay, so here in the place of AND, we are using OR because the requirement or that we are going to be testing is different now. Okay, either this or this. Value can be either greater than 20 or less than 15. Only one option is there. Any one option can only be true. Okay, my 11,000 and odd is greater than 20? No. But it's definitely less than equal to 15. Equal to is not satisfied, but at least less than is satisfied. So my second condition is true. First condition is false, second condition is true. Or will return back true. See here. For or, even if one is true, it will return true. So that's the reason or function's result is going to be true, which means logical test for my if first argument, which is the logical test, that is true. If that is true, it will go to the second argument, which is flag. It won't show here. Definitely it won't. Okay. It won't come to the third one. That's why it's flag. Okay. What about this no flag? Let's understand that. Okay. Your B7 value is 15,033. Is it greater than 20? No. Is it less than 15? No. So both the conditions are false, which means OR will return false. If you want, I can open the effects and show you. See, both are false. Both are false means it will return false only. OR function checks whether any of the arguments are true and returns true or false. Returns false only if all the arguments are false. For AND function, all the conditions are to be true at the same time. But for OR, even if one condition is true, job done. Okay? Just remember the word itself. AND means 1 and 2. For OR, 1 or 2. Remember it this way, it will be easier for you all. Okay? Need not memorize all these things. Of course, for your better understanding, I have written. With time, with practice, things will be much more clearer to you all. Okay, so obviously it will go for a no flag only because OR functions result is false means if I come here, yeah, see here, logical test is false. So it will obviously come to the no flag, which is the third argument. You are able to differentiate between the and OR. What about the second last value? Here it's a 30,000. Is it greater than 20,000? Yes. Is it less than 15? No. So this is going to be true. First condition is going to be true. Second condition is going to be false. So combination of true and false for a or, like either 1 or 2. So 1 is true. So answer is going to be true. Wait a second. Yeah. See, first one is true. Second one is false. So answer is going to be true. We are seeing here it's true. If I go to if it's true means, I mean, OR function's result is nothing but the logical test or the first argument of my if function. If that is true, it will always go to the second argument, which is value if true, which means flag. Is it all okay? Not okay? Are you able to follow or not able to follow?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, if it is okay, just give me a moment. I'll have water and come. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. Now we have seen one alternative where I can test more than one condition within a single if. But sometimes even that is not enough. Few requirements, they want every other, like Tom, Dick and Harry, everything to be tested. Okay, in those cases, what will I do? I have to take the help of one more option, which is nested if. Nested if is nothing but one if inside another if. Now, what is it that we are trying to evaluate here is revenue greater than 15 and less than 20. Like it's falling in that in between range. Okay. If it is in that range, I will say the revenue is good. When I say and means, obviously next your mind should start calculating or start evaluating that I am supposed to use a and function. First thing. Second, it's then telling us revenue is greater than 20,000, greater than equal to 20,000. Then I have to display exceptional. Rest is value. So for the first area, I'm going to use and. There'll be a start with an if function. And for that if function, the logical test argument, I'm going to use an and function, which will evaluate this for me. Okay. Now, after that, one more condition is also to be tested. It's either 20,000, it's either greater than 20,000 or not. But it's not a completely or not. It's something like they say rest is value. What do you mean by rest over here? It's something, the value, the revenue value is such that it's not falling under this range, like that in between range. It is not even greater than 20,000. That means it is actually in the first range. Rest is that only. These two are gone. What is left out? My less than 15,000. If the revenue value is in that range, I'm just going to display the value, meaning I'm just going to display the revenue value. Okay, let's see it. Let's not talk, let's see it. Okay. First, I told you our first calculation, mind calculation should be when we are saying it's that in between range, I'm going to use and. Okay. So my value is 11,000 and odd. Okay, 11,000 and odd means it is not going to fall under this range. Okay. Let me go directly. Let me not evaluate each and every condition. It's quite obvious. My 11,000 is not in this range. Is it obvious? Yes. Is it obvious? $11,000, is it in the range, like in between range, like 15 to 20? Does it fall under 15 to 20?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So by default, the and is going to return me false. I need not test it. I can say that by default, I can say that. Of course, if you want to look at it different way, like you want to test each individual one, you'll get it as false and true. Only when there is a value which is in this range, in the between range, 15 and 20, maybe some 17, maybe some 16, like that, which value is there, only then both the conditions are going to be true. And we are going to get it as true. But one is false, one is true. It's not falling in the range, which is obvious that I am going to get the and answer, and function's answer as false. Okay. And function answer is false means my if function, if function's logical test is false. If it is false, we know it will go to the third argument, which is value if false. Only when it is in the range, it will display me good. That is only when the if functions, outer if functions answer is true, it's going to display good. But here it's not the case. So obviously it has go to the third argument, which is value if false. In the third argument, I have introduced another if, which is going to tell me, or which is going to evaluate whether the value is greater than equal to 20 or not. Here not, it is kind of very much exclusive or very much obvious that this conditional not satisfied, this is also not satisfied, because there is no other condition. Only three conditions we are really trying to find out, like it's in between, or greater than 20 or not. When I say or not, means in that less than 15. So it's neither in this range and it's neither greater than equal to 20. So here in the second if, my logical test is evaluating to false, because 11,000 is odd, is the value. So what it will do, it will go to the third one, which is it's just going to display whatever values available in B file. Okay, let's see two more examples to understand better. Okay, now I'll come to a value which is that in between range, which is 15,033. It's falling under this range. So it's greater than 15, less than 20. So AND function result is true. See, both are true. It's returning true, which means my if function, outer if functions, logical test is true. If logical test is true, it will directly jump to the second argument, which is value if true. Nothing but good. If it is displaying good, it will never come to the second if, or it will never come to the inner if. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about that exceptional part? Exceptional part, obviously the last two only. 30,000 and odd. Definitely not in this range, which means my AND conditions for AND functions result is false. I need not evaluate also. It is very much evident it's not great. No, it's evident it's not falling in the range, but one condition will be true, because B13 is definitely greater than 15. Greater than 15, but not less than 20. That's why it's not falling in the range. So one is true, another is false. Answer is false.
Because
So
no,
if it
never.
is false, 1 minute, ma, 1 minute. I'll finish and then ask. So my AND function's result is actually false here, because the value, it's not in this range. So if the outer if first argument, which is nothing but the result of AND function, that is false, means it will directly jump to the third argument, which is having inner if, or the second if. Now it is evaluating whether it's greater than 20, greater than equal to 20 or not. Yes, it is greater than equal to 20. So it will display me exceptional. This is true, I mean, every other time when you go inside a if it is true, it will go to the second argument. If the test is false, it will go to the third argument. So here it will go to the second and display as exceptional. Yes, somebody was talking, I mean, asking a doubt. Let me know what it is. What happened? You had a doubt, no? Somebody? I didn't hear. Who was it?
I think it was just unmuted, ma'am.
Oh, then fine. Okay, no problem. Then also no problem. Okay, what about you're able to understand? You're able to understand how you can
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
evaluate more than one condition at the same time within a single if it's not possible. I can do that either with a nested if, like one if inside another, or I can use the combination of my logical functions, which is and or. Is it all clear, guys? Any doubts? Anyone has? Let me know. Or if everything is okay, I'll move on. Don't worry, I didn't talk anything in between. Although it was a network error, I didn't talk anything in between. It was just for a moment. Shall we move on?
Yes, ma'am.
And or nested if assignment for that. Many of you are still stuck up with that dependent drop-down list assignment, or either you're stuck up with a text function. And yes, I've given the date functions also. Anyway, you have weekend coming up. You can plan it off. Nested if few students are given, their marks are given, you are to populate the result. Result as in 4 conditions. The mark is less than 40, or maybe let me say it's grade. Grade is less than 40, then fail. Greater than 40, but less than 60, grade C. 60 and 80, in that in between, then B. Greater than 80, it's your A. So very much you can go ahead and use your nested if. Now say the small transaction, large transaction. Transaction is nothing but the amount value over here. And the few questions here, like 4 questions are given. You are going to use and or to evaluate each question and give out the result. Last but not the least, the next one is all about sum if s, average if s, and count if s. You're given from January to May. January to May, you are given few records over here. Like some 2 or 3 types of products, like shirt white, shirt yellow, shirt blue, and all are given. And in which country it's been sold, and what's the revenue that was generated out of that sales. Now here you're going to use, like you're going to find out first one. I'll just say the first lot that's very much applicable to the rest two lot also. It says find total sales for the below criteria. So you're going to find the sales, like total sales for Feb month. Like the condition is Feb month. Second one, you're going to find the total sales for Feb. Yes, of course, but the shirt white for product shirt white. There is two conditions at the same time. Third one, it's your total sales for three conditions like Feb month, shirt white, and the country has to be USA. So first one is all the SUM. Second one, it says how many shirts. Quite obvious, it's the count varieties only I'm going to use. And the third one is average sales. Same way, like first question, whatever the aggregate, only one condition, which is February. Second one will be your February and shirt white. Third one, February, shirt white, and USA. Okay, your and or nested if assignment. Just below the aggregate functions, I've got this. Clear? But in the aggregate functions, we are not done. We got two more things over here. Let's see that what it is, and then by that, I mean, with that, we'll complete this aggregate functions. Like functions related to text. So text functions, functions related to date calculations. Those are your date functions, and the numerical ones are your aggregate functions. Over here, the sheet name says as quick analysis. Now, quick analysis is something like a shortcut way. Okay, you can use this quick analysis for a good lot of things. For regions, quarter-wise sales has been given here. Quick analysis, what is it that we can do is, I'm just going to select that whole data. You're seeing that rectangular one, it says quick analysis. Control Q is your shortcut. Use the quick analysis tool to quickly and easily analyze your data with some of Excel's most useful tools such as charts, color coding. Color coding means conditional formatting and formulas. This is your conditional formatting. See, not every other conditional formatting option has been shown. Something that anyone might use on a frequent basis. Data bar, color scaling, icon sets, greater than value, top 10, percentage and items, both are included. And if you want to clear, option is there. Charts. Now, it's better that, I mean, I'll say at the beginner level, it's better to use this options. Like why it's something like a recommendation, or I won't say recommendation, let me say like suggestions. Like initial, when you are beginning, you might be on a confusion as to, first of all, you should know what are the different types of charts. Second, you are to know which chart is very much suited for which particular requirement. So all of keeping those two questions in mind, you can always use the quick analysis for yourself. Based on the data, based on the selected data, what kind of charts that we can really form. See, clustered column, a normal column chart or a clustered column chart. This is your 1 minute. This is also a clustered column, but then if you really notice, the x-axis here is your Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And there are 4 columns for each quarter, different colors for each region basically. Next one is the x-axis is having the region over there and one color for each quarter. You are having the line chart, stacked column for each quarter, 4 regions definitely, but it's not like one beside the other. It's one on top of the other. That's why it's stacked column. This is one more type of stacked column wherein the x-axis is having the region and the stacking is based on the quarters for each region. If this is also not enough, you may go to more charts. Okay, these are the recommended ones. It's just showing you. Okay, more charts it's showing you that what you saw. Because you have got all charts. When you understand how charts are there, what each chart you're going to use, you may come here and play with it. Okay. So formatting done, charts done, totals. Now remember, I have told you like one advantage of Excel table format over a normal range of cells is the total row. Definitely the total row, because it allows me with checking off one particular option like total row in a table. It is introducing a row for me, an aggregate row or a total row. I can change the aggregate as per the requirement. I can do that. But in case of a normal range of cells, I have to incorporate that aggregate by inserting a function manually. I'm supposed to do that. Of course, there is an alternative I have hopefully all remember, which is auto sum. You can use that. You can click on it. You can just select that option. The function is going to be populated in the cell, empty cell. Another option is over here. If the blue line is at the bottom of that small grid, right? Which means you are going to see the SUM applied column wise. What you are seeing here, I'll select 6. See, you're seeing here column wise, which is quarter wise. You are seeing the total. Over here, if you see it's your SUM B2 to B5, C2 to C5, D2 to D5, and E2 to E5. Instead of SUM, I can display average value column wise. Here you have got quarters onto the column. Count. Just a second. I'm just delete this. So that every time I don't need to select, my hovering should work for me. See. Person total. Okay, let me talk about this person total and running total a bit. Okay, 1 minute. Let me first select only the numerical values. I'm getting a total value, which is, wait, it's your 18 lakh or 1.8 million. 1 minute. Give me a second, please. Okay, what is this person total? Let me open the calculator. For whole of Q1, the value is 4,03,000. Divided by the total value, which is 1.8 million. that individual, like quarter 1 is 4 lakh. All 4 quarters inclusive is 18 lakh. So Q1 divided by the total is 0.22. I'm supposed to multiply it with 100 to get the value in percentage. So 22.107. If we round it out to 2 decimal places, we're going to get 22.11 percentage. So percent total, that individual value, how, like we can say it's a proportion, okay? Individual value, what's the proportion of the total value, which is nothing but the individual value divided by the total value, and you're going to display the value in percentage, which is nothing but multiplying by 100. Do you understand the meaning of percent total now? Yes, no? Same way you can divide and check it out for yourself. Each of these quarter-wise value to that entire value. Those are these proportions. Okay? All good? Fine or not? Fine? You're able to understand? Can I move on? Or any questions are there?
Ma'am, in real time, will they use, ma'am, this total percentage to
Definitely.
find out?
Definitely.
Okay, okay.
Yes, definitely. Maybe not the quarter wise, maybe just for example, think of a situation like your company is having sales spread across maybe more than one country. You might want to you might be interested to know, or the company might be interested to know what percent of sales is coming from each and every company, like each and every country, or maybe each and every country, how much percent it is contributing to the total sales. We can be very much interested to know that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then coming over to running total. Running total is something like a cumulative, okay? It's like for the first one, if you see, it's your quarter 1, just B2 to B5. When you go to quarter 2, it is the running total for quarter 2 is quarter 1 and quarter 2 together. Cumulative. You can see even the first one, it was B2 to B5, but that B2, the starting cell reference is in absolute referencing. When I go to the second one, it's your quarter 1 and 2 together. So B2 to B2 to C5, that is this value. When I go to quarter 3, it's quarter 1, 2, and 3, cumulative, all three together. That's why B2 to D5, again B2 is in absolute referencing. Basically, the starting point is fixed. Last one, quarter 4, it's your all 4 quarters together. B2 to E5. It's something like you go to your bank, you are applying for an recurring deposit. You have options for the interest repayment, like interest payment. Either you want to go in for a cumulative, like at the maturity, you want your interest to be given, or you want it at a quarterly or a monthly basis. Okay. Quarterly and monthly basis are not cumulative, but your maturity time, if you want the interest and principal together, like in interest at the maturity level is what you're wanting means, it will always be a cumulative. First quarter, so certain value will be calculated. Then when you come to the second quarter, it will be first and second together one value, like that. When you come to the third, 1, 2, and 3. When you come to the fourth quarter, 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4. It's all the cumulative effect. Okay, so just like your interest to be like paid, the bank is going to pay you the interest at the maturity time. So that's got the logic of your running total. The total, if you want to remember something, like the total is actually running from 1 to here, it's just keeping on, it's including every other value in the way, and it's going off. It's actually running. Okay. Of course, I won't be able to complete the whole of it, but I'll talk about one more thing today. These 4 options, these 5, and not 4, 5, 4, 5 options for totals, it's all column wise. I can get those values row wise also. See here, SUM, I'm not selecting it, but you can see SUM coming up in the F column, but those M is your, that sum, total value is your region wise, because onto the row headers, we have got the region. I can choose average. So average value region wise. Count, it has to be 4 only. Percent total. Percent total here will be what is 1 minute. It's this individual value divided by this value. Okay. Either you do the total for all the 4 quarters, or you do the total for all 4 regions. This is the same value that you're going to get. I can do a summation here also. You're going to get the same value. You can see for yourself. This was your quarter wise, all 4 quarters together, inclusive of all regions. Here it's all regions. Okay, both these values are the same. So for the percent total row wise, it's your Asia divided by that entire value. Like for Asia running total, the percent total I'm talking about, 3,96,950 divided by 1825,530 into 100, 21.74%. Again, it's your percent contribution. This is nothing but the example that I gave you. Here, I gave you like different countries. The business is spread across different countries. Here, the example is the business is spread across different regions, like almost every other region of our country. So region wise, how much percent they are contributing to that overall sales value is what is your percent total. Same way, you will have a running total also. Here running total, again I'm talking, it's your region wise. So first value is your B2 to E2, first row. You're seeing here B2 to E2. Starting cell reference is freezed out. When you come to the second region, it's your these two, both the regions together. B2 to E3. But this cumulative running total, it's more of a logical, like the logic seems very much apt when it's you are really applying the cumulative effect on a like a time basis. This is your time basis. Now, when I say quarter basis, it looks more logical to me. But when I say the same thing across a region, across 4 regions, doesn't seem so logical. But yes, the concept is there, the functionality is there, you may use it. Okay, so for Europe or for the second line, or this for the second quarter, it's your second record, it's your first and second record together. That's why B2 to E3, this value. You may say the value as 972,658. That's what is there here. 9,72,000. Third one, all 3 together, B2 to E4. B2 to E5, the fourth one. Okay? Clear? Running total, percent total. And basic your, which you all know is your sum, average, and count. We have got running total. One more example I'll show you tomorrow. And yes, I need to talk about the Spark lines, and one more is also over there. The quick analysis, 2 more tabs are there.
Yeah.